Good evening and welcome to Totally Real News. I am your host, Svenne Svensson, the only news anchor that will probably ask you all to go funk yourselves or get the funk out. In this evening's program of Totally Real News, we proudly present to you our first ever talk show. That's right, we have a talk show now. And we chose to call it Totally Real News Talk Show. The most catchy name ever since Chuck Norris. Anyway, this show will be hosted by our very own Torsten. And we will kick off this series by giving you none other than the pioneer of glam rock himself. That's right, I'm talking about Marc Bolan. Over to you, Torsten. Thank you, Svenne. Yes, I'm right now sitting beside the British glam star Marc Bolan. How are you, Marc?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for showing up. Always a pleasure. Now, Marc, you are probably the greatest and most influential pop star of all time. We both know this. But how did you manage to achieve such greatness?
Well, I got my first guitar at age 11, and I was very influenced by the picture Girls Can't Help It, which featured artists such as Eddie Cochran and Elvis. And back then, Elvis was a man, and the way he flipped his guitar around and swung his hips, it was very outrageous, but very impressive.
You yourself have been acting rather outrageously on the scene, haven't you? I mean, by the way you dressed, look and performed, that is.
Yeah, I guess it could be traced back to Elvis Cochran and Little Richard. However, I do believe it was kind of ingrained in my personality from a very young age, since I adopted the personality of the gorilla from the film Mighty Joe Young, and I guess it kind of stuck to this day. And I would also say I learned a thing or two from playing with John's Children, the band, that is. Where we would actually go so wild on the stage that we got thrown off the tour as a foreband for the Who. That said, I've done tons of genres actually. I started out as a Dylan-esque folk singer, and I did go back to that sound when I started playing the underground hippie music with Tyrannosaurus Rex.
The band that got you first big hit with Deborah in '68 and also released 3 albums within the span of 2 years.
Yeah. I would however not say that the band got me the hit.
Okay, so what would you say?
I did. I bloody wrote it.
Of course. Then, what about your look?
Well, I always had an interest in clothes actually. I started out as the first model in my school and were probably the only one that wore tailor-made suits at age 13. It's not really that common. And I also got a gig as a model for the magazine Town when I was 15, As for my image, I've gone through lots of them. Started out as a model and then it became folk and hippie and what would later become glam, and it all came as a natural progression.
Then how come the colorful clothing, the glitter and the makeup?
I dress like this naturally, you know. Both on and off stage. And however, the makeup is mainly to shock the people who video me on the television. And if somebody's dad thinks I'm a bit queer, you know, I'm okay, you know, I don't care. Why would I? As long as I get a reaction, you know.
Speaking of reaction, how would you say you changed and impacted the world?
To start with, when I reinvented the band as T-Rex, I kind of introduced the electric buoy to our sound and electric guitars. Just before we'd been just acoustics, and this could be heard on our number 2 billboard yet, Ride a White Swan, from our self-titled album, that is T-Rex. And this could also be heard on our follow-up album, Electric Warrior, you know, and which was a huge hit, and it both cemented my superstardom status and introduced the foundation of glam rock.
And how did your music change?
Yeah, my writing style changed quite a lot. My lyrics became more simple and stopped being about fairies and elves and wizards, and the music became more riff and electric guitar based, you know, featuring boogie rhythms, kind of what Chuck Berry did. And with an album containing hits as Hot Love and Get It On, that and my appearance on the TV show Top of the Pops, you know, glam was introduced to a mass audience, you know, and it became really mainstream for a while. You know, I became the bridge from 60s hippie movement to the 70s pop, you know. I'm in the case who like pop, you know, for a more outsider demographic. And I started a fashion trend for men, you know, to wear makeup and women's clothing. And I kind of opened the door for following glam artists such as Slade and The Sweet and David Bowie. And I know that many people believe that Bowie started the glam rock movement, but no, he didn't. No. He was, however, one of the early forerunners of glam, and he brought in the concept of what glam could be. And it was all in out with Young Dvochka, you know, real horror show. Wait, what? No, it wasn't. Excuse me, let me try that again. You see, Bowie was all work and no play, which made him a very dull boy. Okay. Who is responsible for writing these absurd lines?
Hello, Mark. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
Who are you?